I'm back to reality.
Snap back to reality, yo. There goes gravity, yo. There goes.
Eminem, is that you?
Eminem? Is that Eminem? We should watch 8 Mile. Hey, it's me, 8 Mile. I've never seen 8 Mile.
Is it? I've seen it. I saw it when I was a kid. I don't think I can like accurately say I've seen it though, because it's like I barely remember most of it.
Eminem's in it.
Eminem is in it. Is it my pick after this episode? I'm
doing our deep dive for the first.
Oh yeah,
and then it's your pick.
That's right. Good, because I didn't have anything picked out anyway.
That's okay. Remember, I already told you what we're watching next. Did you forget?
I did forget.
Cool. It'll be like a fun surprise again. Welcome everyone to the final episode of 2020. Number 75, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Where we're going to be talking about To Boldly Flee, the Nostalgia Critic movie.
Yeah, it's the third one. Channel awesome. Like
I almost watched another one this morning.
I've seen the first one they did before, the Kick-Assia one. I may have started the one in the middle like years ago.
I've heard that one's the best out of the three in the sense that it's like telling a competent story. Like in the sense that it's telling somewhat of a cohesive story. Maybe not competent, but
yeah. But yeah, Kick-Assia was like I
was
haven't
it
watched
better than To Boldly Flee?
I mean, I remembered liking it.
It's an hour and a half instead of 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. Like, I know it was originally 8 parts and it was like a mini series, but even then, I'm like.
Yeah, there were multiple points where I was like, oh, it feels like it's kind of starting to reach, like we're reaching a climax. And I'd look at the runtime and it'd be like 1 hour. And I'd be like, no, God, please. Like,
so did you watch this in segments, or I know you started it?
I watched like 20 or so. I got to the point where they were like doing the head bit, like Spoonie's head bit, where they're like his head or his penis. And on Christmas Day, I was like, you know, I this is Christmas. I need to treat myself to something other than this. Then I forgot about it until I was at work yesterday, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch the rest of that movie tonight. And I did. And here I am. I just got out of bed. Yeah, we're here.
You got your blanket still on. It's time to... Got your guitar in the back. Been working on the Screen Weens song.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get anything for Christmas?
I got some clothes, and I got it. Yeah, I did get some socks. I got some socks, got some boxers, got like 3 books, book Barnes & Noble gift card.
Ooh.
Yeah. I haven't celebrated with my main family yet because, like, I guess none of this shit has shown up yet.
Oh,
from like online. So,
Joe bought Pierre Persona 5 Royal like Steelbook Edition. He ordered it from Amazon, and when it arrived, it was instead a Fortnite Switch.
Like a Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously bad on Amazon for getting the order wrong, but at least they
Pierre's has a Switch now instead.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, no. I mean, we were all just kind of
at least it was something shocked. At least probably worth more value, probably.
A lot.
Yeah.
So that's funny. I got Pierre Star Wars Jedi Knight or Jedi Fallen Order and Squadrons, the video games. It's pretty cool. They bought me board games, lots of board games.
Oh, nice.
But we'd already bought like me board games earlier, like a month ago, because Joe bought me like the expansion of the Lord of the Rings board game because we've been playing it. So it's just like, we'll just buy it now. So we've been playing.
Oh, nice. How is that?
I love that game. It's one of my favorite games right now. The expansion's really good. Probably better than the base game. But yeah, I have like we did the first campaign, which was like 13 chapters. It took us like 16 hours, something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like each level, each adventure in that, each chapter is like an hour and a half. And then we're like 4 deep into the new one, and we've already have like 7 hours in. It's so much fun.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to play it sometime.
I'd be down. I like Lord of the Rings.
And then
I need to get you guys your gifts because I haven't got them. I just haven't delivered them.
Oh, well, just throw them. They'll eventually get to us.
You want to see what I got you?
Sure. Do you remember what I got you?
Yeah, you got me the like Monsters board game, right?
Yeah, Horrified.
Yeah. Here. I'm taking off the headphones for a second.
Okay. Oh God, where'd Thomas go? No! So, I hope everyone had a good Christmas / Hanukkah / Kwanzaa, whatever you're celebrating, or if you're just not celebrating anything, that's cool too. I hope you had a good Friday, you know?
Hello?
Is it a rim job machine?
Alright, so I got you that.
Oh!
I got you.
Oh! That's fucking sick!
Like, storyboard graphic novel
I've been meaning
that they
to
released.
get that. That's sick. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's awesome. All right. Thomas will not be guillotined today. I might, because I made Thomas watch To Boldly Flee.
Yeah, no kidding.
So,
Jesus Christ.
Let's see. Were you able to watch anything fun? Did you watch something else fun on Christmas? Or what? No. Did you just play video games or something?
Yeah, I've been kind of like in and out of some video games here. Like I was playing a little bit of Grand Theft Auto 3 this week.
3, huh? Good game.
Yeah,
it's kind of a weird. All right.
I was just like, you know, because I've never played through the story on any of them. I've always just kind of like fucked around in the open worlds.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, fuck, maybe I'll just start with 3.
4 and 5. I don't remember 3's story very well, but San Andreas 4 and 5 all have pretty good stories. Like,
yeah, San Andreas is the one I've played the most of the story for.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about just slowly working my way through them, but I might just like fucking say fuck it and just like play San Andreas, then hop over to 4, then play 5 or something. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I might not even do that.
That's fair. I watched a bunch of new movies. On Christmas, a bunch of movies came out. So we watched Soul, which is the new Pixar movie that launched on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. That's what that was.
Pretty good. It was not as good as I wanted it to be, but it was pretty good. Anytime they're like in the body of like the actual dude, anytime it's the real world, I really, really like the movie. Anytime he was like in his soul form and like in the afterlife or whatever, I'm like, this is bad. Not bad, but just not good.
Interesting.
We got HBO Max, at least for a month, so I could watch Wonder Woman 84. That came out on Christmas.
Oh, nice.
I really liked it. I really liked it. Pedro Pascal's in it, who plays like the Mandalorian, and he's been popping up all over now. He's really, really fucking good in it. He's the best part of the movie. But overall, I liked it. Some of the action's kind of bad, but they focus more on like character development and character moments in that movie, so that's probably why I liked it. And then We Can Be Heroes, the new Robert Rodriguez movie, is out on Netflix, which is pretty much the new Spy Kids. It feels exactly like Spy Kids, but they have superpowers and they're like superheroes this time. So like it's bad, but it's also good. Like, if I was an 8-year-old, I would think it's the greatest movie of all time. Like I did with Spy Kids 2. So I enjoyed it. It was pretty stupid, but I enjoyed it enough. And then I rewatched one of my favorites from this year yesterday. I rewatched The Invisible Man. Really solid. I really like that movie. I really want to watch Upgrade by the same director. Because I've heard Upgrade's pretty groovy. And I think that's all the new movies I've watched, but I have finally returned to watching James Bond. I've watched 3 in the last couple days. So I finished Pierce Brosnan. I'm going to Daniel Craig now. I'm almost there. I'm going to finish before the end of the year. I promise you. I promise everyone listening and watching right now that next episode, I will say that I have finished every James Bond movie, or at least every like canon one. I don't know if I'll have time to watch the other Casino Royale, like the goofy spoof one, and the remake of Thunderball, Never Say Never Again, I think, or something like that. But the Daniel Craig ones, I'm going to finish all 4. Here's quick ratings and reviews for the 3 James Bond movies I watched. Tomorrow Never Dies. Michelle Yeoh's in it. She's really, really good. Pierce Brosnan's really, really good. But like a lot of the James Bond movies, there's like an hour in the middle that could be cut out, and it's just like not good, and it throws the whole movie off. So not very good. 4 out of 10. World Is Not Enough. Really good camera work. There's some awesome chase sequences. And I really, really like the supporting characters of it, and as well as the antagonists, which is surprising for a James Bond movie for me. But same exact problems with the pacing, and like there's 40 minutes that are bad. But 5 out of 10. And then Die Another Day, which is considered to be one of the worst entries in James Bond. 6 out of 10. It's goofy. It's stupid, but it's good because James Bond is not interesting unless it's goofy and stupid or has really engaging story, which is like 2 of them. So, yeah, 6 out of 10. There you go. That's mostly what I watched. I did rewatch Muppet Christmas Carol on Christmas Eve with everybody.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's a good movie. I really like that movie. But yeah. Oh, we watched X-Men Days of Future Past and then Apocalypse as well. So we're almost done with the X-Men movies. Days of Future Past, I still think is a great movie. Apocalypse was the first time I've seen it. It's terrible. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I've heard.
But yeah, fun week for me. Still watching Bleach. We're almost episode 300. Skipping the filler because Hinata wants to, and I'll jump back in and watch the anime only arcs after I'm done.
It's not an anime or a movie, but a bit of news that I can share is 1,000 chapters of One Piece.
I read chapter 1,000 of One Piece. I saw it released or like an unofficial scan or something. I saw it on Reddit, and I'm just like, I'm going to read chapter 1,000 of One Piece. I don't know what was going on.
So basically, if you want like a quick little basic...
He's going to become the king of the pirates.
Yeah, so this guy, Kaido, he's a dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, he's taken over like the one island, or one of the only islands that isn't like in possession by the world government. And yeah, it's been like this whole like 20-year fiasco of them trying to like get the land of Wano back under the Shogun rule of the Kazuki family. Because there's this guy named Odin, and he was really cool, but he like died. So yeah, it's a really shitty explanation, but it's really like that. The chapter 1,000, it's not like a huge like in the span of the series, it doesn't exactly like shake the core of what the series is about or anything, but
it's a cool milestone.
It was a nice little like memorable moment for this arc that we've been in for the last.
Yeah, they used some epic move.
Yeah, he used a new move, so I was like, ooh,
classic.
Yeah, I liked it. But I can see it being kind of like, I don't know what's going on if you didn't.
Yeah, I was like, very interesting. We took a break from watching. Pierre watched To Boldly Flee with me.
Oh,
he was mostly playing Fortnite on his Switch for most of it, but he was there. He experienced the movie. We took a break 2 hours in to go to like Winco to pick up some food, but then I read that chapter real quick, and I'm just like, yeah. One Piece. I was very Hinata was like, I'm going to watch all of One Piece to prove that Bleach is the only good long-running anime. And I'm like, good luck with that. Because I think she was expecting it to be like 300 episodes or like near what Bleach is. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. It's close to 1,000 right now. And a lot of it is like, well, that's the thing. So like... It's not filler, like, but everything's just stretched, right? And I'm like, I was saying that, like, say what you will about the Bleach anime-only arcs, like, a lot of people don't like them, but I would much rather have, like, anime-only arcs that you can just kind of dismiss, but then the actual, like, story stuff is well enough paced than just everything being stretched on.
Like, it's not always so bad. Like, the show can strike a chord with it sometimes where they hit, like, just, I feel like the appropriate amount of, like, slow pacing to where it really feels like they're milking it, but they're milking it good for dramatic reasons. I feel like the early anime was pretty decent at this, and they've recently gotten much better. Like, the anime, the whole Wano arc has been pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. But there have been some arcs that have been, like, ruined by the anime because of the pacing. So it's just like...
Well, good to know.
Yeah.
Oh.
But if you ever look to start the journey, the first, like, couple hundred episodes of the anime are decent, so...
Okay. I'm not going to do that.
Nothing too out of the norm for long-running shonen, but fair. Yeah.
Because I don't think, after Bleach, I don't anticipate ever watching an anime more than, like, 50 episodes. Gundam doesn't count. I'll watch Gundam. Because, like, that's a different show. It's fine. Oh, actually, I want to watch Gintama. And that has a lot of episodes.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You're over here shaming me for One Piece when Gintama's not far behind.
I'm not shaming you for One Piece. I just don't want to watch
you for One Piece. You're just like, I don't want to watch that long-ass show. Let me watch this other long-ass show.
I don't know. Like, feudal Japan fighting aliens just interests me more than pirates, I think. But I don't know. Maybe if I gave One Piece and...
Yeah, because One Piece isn't, like... It's not as piratey as I think most people think it is. Like, it's kind of got its own... take on pirates, and the show, like, because it runs on an island basis, it adds for, like, a lot of variety where the show can go. Like, they can do an arc where they're like, we want to have, like, zombies and vampires, so they can, like, find a way to do that. And another arc might be like, oh, we want, like, this, like, kind of 1940s Disneyland style with, like, mafia type characters around. Like, there's all sorts of, like, kind of variety to every saga that makes it feel, like, unique. But
okay, good to know.
To each their own.
All right.
But yes.
So I guess it's time for the final questions of the year.
Oh, did he send them?
Yeah. Number 1. Who is the best character in the Cars franchise? Has he already asked this? This sounds like a question he's asked.
Yeah, I think he's asked this before. Who's the one guy who, like, trains lightning or whatever?
Doc Hudson.
I'll say that, but I've only ever Like, I haven't watched any of them in a long time.
I'm going to say Tow Mater. It's a classic.
There you go.
It's Larry the Cable Guy. We should watch all the Larry the Cable Guy movies. Actor Deep Dive, Larry the Cable Guy. We can watch The Tooth Fairy 2.
Oh, no.
And Cars 2.
It really doesn't seem like my kind of actor deep dive.
I like Cruz Ramirez. She's one of the protagonists of the third one. She's pretty cool. So probably Cruz. I think Lightning's a bad character in the first and the second movie, but I think he's a good character in the third. So if I can say Cars 3 Lightning McQueen, I would say that one. If not, I'll say Tow Mater. Question 2. Would Harry Potter have been a better series if Hagrid was the villain? Hands down, yes.
Sure, why not?
Think about it.
I got to the point where, like, Voldemort basically rejuvenates, and then I stopped watching, so I don't know.
Okay.
But
I've been thinking about maybe we should do like a two-week series kind of thing, like 2 episodes on Harry Potter. We can do like 1 through 4, and then 5 through 5, 6, 7, and 7, 2.
I'd be down. A YouTuber I watched just started doing a video on the Harry Potter series.
Except I hate Harry Potter. I don't hate it. It's just so long, and they're not very good. Except for like the first couple and like the last couple. There's a middle chunk that's just like
yeah, I could see that. I've only ever seen the first 5. So
5's so bad. I hate 5.
Yeah, I wasn't huge on 5. I don't know. I'd probably think close to the same now, maybe. I haven't watched it since I was like 11, so.
Question 3. If you had to pick one genre of movie to erase from existence, what would it be?
Propaganda?
Everything's propaganda, Thomas.
I know, that's why I was like...
Not
question mark?
Does that count?
Yeah. Bad propaganda?
If we have to pick like a broad genre, that's kind of tough, but I might say like Western, I guess. Because like I can just watch samurai movies to see the same themes better.
I'm trying to think if there's any like low-hanging fruit genres that I'm just like, yeah, get rid of that. How niche can I get with like the specific
I don't know. That's why I said like kind of broad. I don't know if you want. What's your niche? Genre? No. MCU, is that a genre? No.
I don't know. Like rom-coms.
You don't like rom-coms?
I don't like most rom-coms. I feel like most rom-coms I watch, I'm just like rolling my eyes.
Maybe you gotta watch some epic rom-coms.
Maybe I do.
Like Phantom of the Paradise.
Like Just Go There, starring Justin Long and Drew Barrymore.
Is that a good one?
I don't know. I watched it when I was like 11, maybe. I don't even know if that's the name of it. It's something generic like that.
Wait, Justin Long and Drew Barrymore?
I think so.
That's a weird... That's weird.
I remember it being like a pretty weird movie.
Now I gotta find this. Hold on.
Maybe it's not Drew Barrymore. Maybe it is, though. Let me see.
They're in a movie together called He's Just Not That Into You from 2009. Is Ben Affleck in it, too?
I don't remember. Let me look.
Oh, God. We gotta figure this out.
Let me see if this is the movie.
Justin Long and Drew Barrymore?
I guess they... I don't... Oh, I guess they dated in real life?
What?
Maybe? Oh, no. I misread that. I Barrymore and Lon met in 2008 while filming He's Just Not That Into You and began a 2-year relationship.
No. The fuck?
Oh, 4 days ago, are Drew Barrymore and Justin Lon dating again? An article from Pop Sugar, this website I've never heard of.
What? This is making me... It's weird because Justin Long, Drew Barrymore, is pretty young still. I think she's 45, but she feels like an adult, and Justin Long still feels like a child to me, even though he's 42. What you mean. He's they have a 3-year age gap, but he still feels like a child.
No, that movie that I was He's Just Not That Into You is not the movie I was thinking of.
Are you thinking of Never Been Kissed? That's her and David Arquette. They kind of look similar.
No. Justin Long romantic comedy. I remember it being Going the Distance. That's the name of the movie I'm thinking of.
Going the Distance.
I knew it had some sort of fucking generic fucking
name.
And
Drew Barrymore is in that. Okay. And Charlie Day and Jason Sudeikis. What the fuck? Now I gotta watch this.
I just remembered it from the deep crevices of my mind. I was like,
"Oh, what the director, rom-com? Nanette Burstein. She's the one that did the docuseries that came out this year on Hillary Clinton."
Oh boy!
Oh, I love Hillary. Here's how Hillary can still win. Oh
man, that feels like it was so long ago. This year has just been... It's felt short, but it's also felt long.
Well, yeah, it's weird to think about. The Invisible Man I was talking about earlier. I saw that movie in February, I think, in the theaters, and I'm just like... Oh, wow. That was this year?
Yeah.
Usually movies in January and February, by the time the year's done, I'm like, yeah, it feels quite a while ago. But this feels like I watched it 4 years ago.
Dude, ever since Bernie lost, it's just the year went boom.
Yep.
It was just damn.
Ever since Parasite won, that was the last good thing that happened.
True.
That was this year.
What? No,
the Oscars was this year.
No, it wasn't. They canceled it this year, and Parasite won every year before it. Shut up.
But yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the questions, Pierre, our most loyal subscriber. You even watched To Boldly Flee with me. Mateo watched probably 45 minutes of it, and she was like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm like, yeah. All right, so I want to talk... Well, how long do you have? When do you have to go?
I probably an hour from this point.
Okay.
Max.
So we're going to talk a little bit about Channel Awesome and their movie, To Boldly Flee, and then afterwards we're just going to take a moment to collect our thoughts on the movies we watched this year and sign off and then never come back.
Yep.
I'm going to blow up the channel.
This is the episode that made me lose it. I was just like,
maybe.
No more.
Okay. Here's a question. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this great movie. First question. Would you rather watch Last of the Living 2 times or this again?
Honestly, how long is Last of the Living?
Hold on.
Nah, I would probably honestly say this again, but despite
Last of the Living is an hour and 28 minutes, so it'd be 3 hours. So you'd cut off 25 minutes.
Could I maybe just watch the same amount of this movie? No, but
okay, Last of the Living twice plus splatter.
Oh, okay, there we go. Probably this one, because despite my major dislike for this movie, there's still a couple like personalities on Channel Awesome that I enjoy watching enough to where I think I could maybe coast through like I did this time.
Yeah. I will say that this movie made me laugh. There's
Allison and Lindsay and Todd.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And
Linkara's there too. Great.
I knew some of the stuff about Channel Awesome and like hashtag change the channel beforehand, but I read a lot more about it. And I'm just like, everyone is bad that's still on the channel, including Brad Jones, which I didn't know. And I'm like, no!
Yeah, Brad Jones, I remember him
just
saying
a dick
some pretty
about
gross
it, pretty much.
stuff. Yeah, he's basically like, well, it doesn't affect me. Why should I care? Kind of attitude. And it's just like, because these are like, you were friends with like Allison?
Yeah.
And like to the point where like she was a regular collaborator on your like videos for a long time. Like, not just like the fucking... like his cinema snob videos, but I was pretty big into Brad Jones. He was one of the ones I was really into, so I watched a lot of his like food videos and shit like that.
Yeah,
and like she used to like collaborate with him quite a bit. And I was like,
and I didn't know. I don't. So there's a creator in the movie named Jew Wario.
Yeah, I remember when he killed himself, because he's the one you might have remember from like circa 2015. He committed suicide.
2014. Yeah, I was looking it up.
Yeah, and then, the site was like, yeah, honors. And then when the change the channel document came out, there was quite a few.
His is like the worst out of all of them. Like,
yeah,
he like legitimately
like woman sleeps next to him and wakes up with his fingers inside of her pretty bad. Like it's not good stuff.
And he was like grooming underage girls. It's like, what the fuck? It's fucked up. Like, a lot of the creators on Channel Awesome or that were on Channel Awesome are scummy that didn't like leave during this, but he might be the worst of them. So I was just like, what the fuck? I was already weirded out. I'm like, why is his name Jew Wario? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's just like, what? And then, they take it the extra mile, and it's just like...
So anyway, this movie...
He took it the extra mile.
Is about...
talking about, bro.
Something.
So, you take the plot of Star Trek 3... and you stretch it over 3.5 hours, and you try to splice it with a bunch of other sci-fi movies, and that's what this movie's plot is.
So, would you say that Star Trek 3 or this movie are better movies? Because I haven't seen Star Trek 3, so I don't know.
Well, Star Trek 3, like, let's be honest here. I don't like Star Trek 3 in the slightest. I think it's stupid. It upsets me. It even hinders my enjoyment of Wrath of Khan, because I see the setup in that movie. In Search of
Spock? Is that the third one?
Yeah, that's the one that has like Christopher Lloyd and it's so I don't like the movie. I don't like that because spoiler alert for these really old movies that came out in like the fucking 70s. At the end of Star Trek 2, like, Spock dies, and he does that, like, mind meld thing with Bones, where he basically, like, injects his consciousness into Bones so he can be, like, reborn or, like, reformatted into his new body, which is being... Basically, they left his body out in space, because they're like, he's dead, space funeral, and then it turns out he ended up going to the planet that the Genesis, which Genesis is this fucking thing that can create, like, life on a dead planet. So basically it gave like,
so he shouldn't just stay dead is what you're saying.
Yeah that, or they just shouldn't have killed him. Pick your lane. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Or brought him back 4 movies later.
Yeah, something. At least have some sort of weight to not instantly the next movie. It's like, we gotta get Spock back.
So, in general, this movie has more weight to Mati's death because it's longer.
Yeah, but you could say that Mati was barely a reoccurring character in Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah, I forgot
up to this point,
about the character.
Whereas we had 3 seasons of a TV show, a season of an animated TV show, and 2 motion pictures, a build-up before Spock's death.
That's true.
In Star Trek. So, man, I wish we watched Star Trek instead.
We did!
We might as well have. There was so many Star Trek just bits ripped off, like that thing that Jew Wario was doing at the end where he was like shirtless and had the like fucking like fencing sword that was from like an old episode of the original series. Yeah, it's not as great when Jew Wario is doing it, but when George Takei does it, it was pretty good.
So like the women in this movie are written really badly.
Yes. Everybody in this movie is written very badly, but mostly them. Like on a whole different level.
It's pretty rough, like to see like the way that they're treated in the script is either just the butt of like sex jokes or just stupid. Like that's the 2 options. While like every other joke is told by like a man. I was like, why?
Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, especially with the context of like the fucking Mike guy who actually like sits atop the Channel Awesome throne and how he hates women legitimately, not like you. Like
shut the fuck up.
Because like he fired Allison, who is Obscurus Lupa in the movie. Yeah. To those who don't know, she doesn't like going by that name anymore, so I've been calling her Allison.
Yeah. Allison Pregler, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Why did also I hated that they went by their names of their critics. I'm like, just say their name. It's a movie. Don't go by like I would be fine if the Nostalgia Critic had the name of critic, but just calling people by like some shitty code name that they probably made up when they were starting in like 5 seconds. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, because there's like Film Brain. There's Todd's pretty hard to mess up because it's like Todd in the Shadows. They just call him Todd in the movie. I'm pretty sure.
They call him Todd in the Shadows a couple of times. I'm pretty sure. And I'm like,
do they?
Why are you just saying Todd?
Yeah. Like there's a couple names where it's like I don't mind. Like you can always call Linkara. You don't have to refer to him as the Lewis Love Hog Man. But yeah, that's a fair complaint. They very much try to like, I don't know. I guess it kind of makes sense because it's like they don't live in the real reality. It's like the Channel Awesome weird review reality that the movie takes place
and then
in. So it's just like
through the plot hole, and the Nostalgia Critic meets Doug Walker.
Yeah.
I kind of like that scene. Not really, but I'm like, this is more interesting than anything else in the movie.
I don't know if you saw my tweet, but I said this movie made me laugh once. But to be fair, I laughed really hard.
What?
And that was...
that scene, or?
No. This might be kind of just out of nowhere. But, fucking... It's the scene when, like... I don't know the name of the reviewer. I'm not familiar with either of these two, but it's like the Obi-Wan reviewer and like the Luke reviewer are talking. And he's like, why are you talking to me? Why don't you go like ask Film Brain? He's like, well, I tried. And it just shows like Film Brain in the corner just screaming at the Force Ghost. I thought that was pretty funny. And for how simple of a joke that is, I don't recall ever seeing that done anywhere, so it just kind of caught me off guard.
I laughed a couple of times. So, like, I laughed a couple times, but the most of the time it was me more laughing at the fact that I was watching a Nostalgia Critic movie more than anything else.
Yeah.
But I did get a decent laugh from another Star Wars related scene. It's when the Emperor character says
Rob
to
Walker.
Bradakin, he's like, I think that's who he said it to. He's like, I thought I told you to get me an egg McMuffin.
Oh.
It was just out of nowhere, and I'm like, that's a good line. Also, his Emperor voice wasn't too bad. Like, in general, it was fine. Like, it was not the worst Emperor Palpatine voice I've heard.
I'm not a big Rob Walker fan.
I've barely seen Rob Walker.
Yeah, he basically is just... He's Doug Walker's brother.
Yeah, he wrote it was Doug and him that wrote it.
Yeah, he always helps write most Nostalgia Critic episodes, and he is also...
And it's like how do you have two writers on these episodes? Because it feels like you have zero.
That's true. That is true.
Guarantee, if we made a 3.5 hour long DDoSer movie, it'd be better. Probably because we wouldn't have 20 characters in every scene just standing there.
I also feel like we wouldn't make a 3.5 hour DDoSer movie.
If I were to make a long DDoSer movie, I feel like long would be like 40 minutes. Maybe like if I really needed to make like a feature length, maybe an hour and a half, but what would I do with the character? I know my limitations. If I want to make a long movie, I'm gonna make it about something that's not Star Trek 3 of all things.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I guess they had their moments where they referenced too, but...
They had their moments where they reference seemingly every movie in existence.
So, this film had me wondering, I wonder if it's possible to write a script in less time than the film's runtime.
Yeah, I could do it.
Yeah. I think they did it with this one by copying and pasting other sci-fi movie scripts. And just, like, later going back and just, like, crossing out the characters' names and being like, alright, this one goes to Todd. This one will go to Lindsay. This one can go to Jesu Otaku.
Literally, like, so many things in this movie could be better. Like the camera work is terrible, and like the audio's really bad too, but just the story structure, like the movie would be bearable if they cut it in half, you know, like hour and 45 minutes, hour and a half runtime, and they cut the characters down from like, cause how many reviewers are in this movie? Fucking 20 or something close to it. If they had like 5.
Yeah.
6, maybe. Like, I know they wanted to emulate. Also, don't set it all in your fucking house.
Yeah, this was the point in the... Because I feel like in the past they had done some, like, manageable stuff with the movies, probably. Like, it seemed like they were basically getting more ambitious every time, and that may have worked from the jump to Kick-Assia to Suburban Nights.
Yeah.
But it clearly didn't work here.
And the thing is, like, if you want all these characters, cool, don't have them in every scene. Like, the big, like, scenes where they're all just standing there in, like, the living room. It's just like, why? Also, you have all these people, just have them...
this was a big...
Have them play other characters. You don't need them to play their reviewers. Just even them being in the movie is enough, because like you have all these villains that show up and it's just Spoonie again, and it's just Nostalgia Critic again.
Yeah.
Spoonie plays 3 characters.
Yeah, there's a fucking, what's it called? I remember this being like one of the things that they talked about. I don't know on the Channel Awesome, like, change the channel document, or if it was like something that came out where just creators were sharing their distaste with the filmmaking process of this movie. But apparently, like, in these movies, the other creators feel like they weren't accurately represented. Like, they don't even feel like their characters do in the review series, typically.
Yeah.
They just feel like what basically Doug Walker assumes their character would be in, like, working off of his.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and this whole film is very pretentious. He's like the chosen one. He's like, without me, there is no other reviewer. And then he shows like the most based reviewer that there is for like his type, which is James Rolfe. He shows up in the movie at the very end.
That was
he's wearing like a Gort costume.
That was the best part.
Yeah, of course, because it's James Rolfe.
And it made me go like, I want to watch the AVGN movie. Because like, I know it'll probably be pretty bad, but like, it'll be a movie.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of it. I should give it another shot, because it's like...
It probably feels like a movie. It feels like more of a movie than this.
I would say I think it's better than this, and it's also much shorter.
Yeah, it's like 80 minutes, I think, or like an hour and 40 or something.
I will say, I mean, I tried to watch it when it like first came out. I might have like a different opinion if I were to try and watch it now. I'm older. My perspective has changed. I'm a little bit more open-minded than I was when I was a teenager. But what's it called? I just remember like even like removing myself from like the cinema sphere. I remember like as an AVGN fan, I was like, this isn't really like living up to like kind of what I want. But I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't want to shit on people who like the movie, and I, most importantly, don't want to shit on James Rolfe. He clearly worked a very long time and, like, worked very hard on the movie, and I don't want to...
It would have been fixed if instead he had made a Bored James movie instead, though.
Bored James is so good. I miss Bootsy. I know.
Yeah, what did him and Mike...
Him and Mike had some sort of, like... Oh, this is just fan speculation. I'm sure it's probably somewhat far from what the actual reality is, because we don't know these people. But the internet rumors say that basically, like, Mike got jealous because he's always had kind of a lukewarm response from the Cinemasker fan base, whereas Bootsy... I don't
really like Mike.
Everybody loves Bootsy. Yeah. Like, Bootsy's great, he's talented, he's funny, he's charismatic.
Yeah, I wasn't... I don't like Mike. He's okay, I guess. He just seems like a dick.
He motherfucker Mike. That's his name. But fucking what's it called? Yeah, so basically he's just like cold. What's the term for like when you just drop somebody, like just
cold turkey?
Ghosted. He like ghosted Bootsy. Yeah. And then Bootsy just one day on Twitter was like, yeah, people have been asking, so I'm just going to say, I don't know what happened. It just, we're not in contact anymore. And that's basically it. But Mike just left Cinemasker. Like, that was like an announcement that they just made like this month. Like within the last week or so. Yeah, he I guess he's got like a girlfriend that he like streams with sometimes, and they both have like really been getting into streaming, so he's going off to finally work on his own shit, I guess.
So it's just Mr. James on there then?
It's like James, and it's his new crew. He's got like, if you've watched any of like their newer videos, he's got like, I don't know if Tony with Hack the Movies is still with him, but he's got like Kieran.
I've watched a couple of newer like AVGN stuff, but I've only seen him in those videos. Like I haven't watched any like regular Cinemassacre stuff.
I haven't watched any in like a while. I just saw that he released like an update video a few days ago, and I was like, oh, we'll gotta check it out. But anyway, to boldly flee.
Oh yeah, it's just really bad. There was one song in it that I thought was like, it was near the end. It was like just some instrument.
Just a distraction.
It was fine. It was okay.
It was just an instrumental. Are you talking about the like? You're not talking about the distraction part that they did.
I don't think so. There was just some random track that I'm like, hey, this is actually not bad. It wasn't like great.
I wonder if they just.
It might just.
I wonder if they took it from a movie.
Yeah, it might be, but I don't know. Whatever it was, I'm like, this fits the scene and it doesn't sound bad. I'm like, look at them. They're trying. Every time there was a panning shot, I was like, whoa, look at you.
Yeah. It's just like,
knowing how to turn a camera now. And I'm just like, there was a couple shots, and I'm like, this looks so much better than the rest of the movie. And it was probably on accident. I'm just like, that's really funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, why'd they set it in space? Why was there a CG car? Why'd they have so many CG space battles? They could have just... You didn't need... As a send-off to this character, you didn't need any of this stuff. You could have still had it be a plot hole element. You could have had all these elements and just not set it in space. Just have you drive a bus instead.
Well, I think it's because it's like... I think each one of these films was supposed to like tackle a specific genre or something. I think that was their intention. Yeah.
I get it. Like, they should have made this a Western. Nostalgia Critic like takes off his regular hat and he puts on one that looks the exact same, but it like has a cowboy brim.
Oh, nice. There you go.
There was one character. He had the hat. I don't know what the hat that you used to wear. I don't know who that was.
Oh, that was like Anime Sage, I think is his name.
Oh, Sage, yeah. Hinata was like, look, it's Thomas. Purely because of the hat. And I'm like, yeah, he stopped wearing that hat because people would say stuff like that.
Yeah. I didn't want to be associated with that type. I'm not a big fan. I to be fair, I've seen a couple of his reviews, but I generally have different opinions on the common things I've watched.
Well, in general, I've seen his reviews. I don't like a lot of reviews now. Like, I stopped watching, like, the Sardonicast crew, like, probably close to 8-9 months ago. I just don't really find...
Probably the same.
I just don't really find their videos that entertaining anymore. Ralph, like, legitimately, like, kind of pisses me off just because I just think he's kind of annoying sometimes.
I can't really comment on that. I don't think he's like annoying.
No, he's fine. I'm just being a dick. Like, he's fine.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't watch a whole lot of film related content now that I do this.
Yeah, because we're the film related content.
Yeah, I don't really want like their opinions to rub off on me or to affect my own.
Yeah.
It's kind of like to keep the stream pure.
I get it.
But...
Well, Ralph's fine. Ralph, I know you watch us. You're fine. You can be on the podcast. I'm just jealous. If you ever make Lover 2, cast me.
Yeah, what the... How dare you insult the man who came up with the greatest quote ever? You a good girl.
But you make better sauce.
Better sauce.
That's true. Sauce is great. King Candy or whatever. Great. That's a good one.
I like King Candy. King Candy.
Really did not like Lover, but that's okay.
Yeah, I didn't like Lover either. But
if he tries again, I'll watch it. I'll give him another shot.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, to boldly flee.
There should be a Sardonicast movie. With the Nostalgia Critic as the villain.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah, this movie just reminds me, like, how cringy I was when, like, this movie came out. Like, 8 years ago, I was cringe. When I was a sophomore, I was cringe. Because, this is all I watched. Like, I didn't watch this, but I watched a lot of Nostalgia Critic. I watched a lot of AVGN. That's, like, all I watched. So I was cringe.
No,
it mostly just made me cringe because it made me think about my past.
I feel it. I watched a lot of Channel Awesome reviewers. And
I mostly just watched Nostalgia Critic. I think I watched a little Linkara.
But I watched a decent amount of Linkara.
I was also playing a lot of video games at the time. So, just in general, I'm just glad that I've moved on. I don't necessarily when thinking about like the change the channel stuff and reading about stuff, it feels like Doug Walker isn't necessarily a malicious entity. He's just kind of stupid. Like when it comes to him being like a boss, he's incompetent.
I feel like he's incompetent, and I feel like he's knowingly complacent.
Yeah, and
in a lot of what
and it's
went
one
down.
thing to like not do anything there, but it's been fucking years, and it doesn't seem like he's ever tried to make amends with any of these people or anything.
No, because he knows the majority of people who click onto his videos don't know about the change the channel stuff,
exactly.
don't know about the behind the scenes, and he can coast by without even feeling like a shred of actual
Empathy,
yeah. And it's just like
regret. Yeah,
that's why I don't watch any of his videos anymore, because I'm like, I don't want to support this fucking
that's why
asshole.
I've also
I don't wanna
stopped watching like
feed
Cinema
into the
Snob
click
as well,
machine.
because he's had so much time to like say sorry.
Yeah. I don't necessarily like the attitude he had during the whole thing. It kind of really rubbed me the wrong way.
And I've like watched.
It made me sad because I was a big fan of his content.
I was like yesterday. I was kind of watching some excerpts that I saw, and it's just in general, I feel like both of them are just kind of falling down a rabbit hole that of toxicity that they can't necessarily get out of. I was watching their Black Christmas review of their new one, and they were just calling it like SJW cancel culture, like bullshit. And I'm like, okay, I think the movie's really bad, but calling stuff like just using buzzwords like that just leads me to believe that you're like not watching a movie. Like, you know exactly what you're going to say before you watch this movie. It's the same reason, like,
Yeah.
I have similar feelings on like what they said about like the Ghostbusters movie and stuff. It's just like, you're just kind of, you know what you're going to say before you've watched the movie. And it's mostly about not liking women.
Yeah, that definitely played into like the marketing of Ghostbusters 2016, but I don't think that played into the actual film. Yeah.
And, I don't necessarily blame like laymen for like regular people for necessarily like seeing it that way if they've never seen this.
Yeah,
but if your job's to review something, you can't do that.
They've been conscious critics for a long time. And it's like, I get it. Like, I'm still learning. I'm still like fucking coming to my own conclusions on shit as someone who's technically an internet critic.
Hey guys, we're the Nostalgia Critics.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know.
But
I don't know where I was going with that.
The only things I really want to say about this movie more is I actually think that all these people are internet personalities. They're not actors. So the acting's really, really poor. Except I think, say what you will about him, I know we've been talking about him, I think Brad Jones is decent enough. Like, in comparison, he's really trying, and I think Lindsay Ellis is really trying. I think those two are like trying. And I guess Doug Walker, he knows what he's playing. He's good at playing the role of nostalgia critic. Like, the way he also writes it, so it's probably pretty easy for him to play it, but he's fine. The character itself isn't very funny. But they're trying, I guess. That's another thing. If I wouldn't have as big of a deal if Nostalgia Critic was like the chosen one, if he had made the roster of people like 5 reviewers or something, like ones that spawned from him, like, but it's just so many people, and I'm like, that's just kind of mean.
Yeah. It really is a douchey thing to do.
Like, if you had like the nostalgia chick as a character, I wouldn't really care. If there were things that legitimately branched off of the Nostalgia Critic, like originally as characters, I'd be fine if he was like the chosen one, because that makes perfect sense. But there are people that like, all these people have been around as long as you or longer, like, and you just collided eventually. But I'm like,
yeah, it's just that they like, when they were like creators on the site, there were like criteria that you had to follow. Like they were like, you can't have your product. I'm pretty sure it's been a while since I've read the document, so maybe some of this might be wrong. I don't know. Just don't take me 100% at my word for this. But like, I think I remember hearing like they had to like have their production quality like as like it couldn't be better than Doug Walker's.
And I was like, oof.
Yeah, that's the big one where it's like, yikes. That's why, like, when a lot of them started, like, hopping ship, you noticed the spike in quality. And it was like, oh, damn, okay. You're about on par with a normal, like, someone who can actually fucking set up production in the modern day and not looking like you're filming on a webcam from 2006.
Literally, when me and Pierre started this movie, he's like, when did this movie come out? 2006? I'm like, 2012. And he's like, oh, no.
Yeah. Oh man. But and also like everybody has like their gimmick.
Yeah.
Like as a reviewer, like you gotta have your shtick. You gotta have your like niche fucking,
which I don't think is necessary in the sense that like I know that there's such a big influx of like creators on YouTube, not just now, but even in 2012, like there's so many. So I understand needing a shtick, but like I don't care about that, and I know a lot of people don't care about that. They just care about like the genuine personality of someone. Like they want to vibe with that. So I find myself as I get older, if I'm watching something, I don't necessarily want to watch a character reviewing something. I just want to know like somebody's genuine feelings on it. And, like, them genuinely as a person, not necessarily a character. That's why I think that Doug Walker's videos, when he's just being him, are better than Nostalgia Critic. Also because he doesn't have those stupid fucking skits.
Yeah.
The same thing with Brad Jones. Like, Cinema Snob is fine. He has better, like, it's a better character than Nostalgia Critic, but I just like Brad Jones' videos.
I always preferred his, like, car videos that he does. Where he's like reviews in the cars.
Yeah, just like, and it's the same thing. Like the AVGN, James Rolfe, I think is genuinely a really interesting person to watch when it's just him talking genuinely. I don't want to watch some old white man rage on about Nintendo games anymore. I want to watch James Rolfe.
I feel it. I feel like he's slowly trying to offer more James Rolfe within the last couple of years.
Even the last couple of years of AVGN, I think, is genuinely mostly just James Rolfe. And that's why, like, I think the quality of AVGN is really weird because it feels more genuine, but then the AVGN, like, segments where he, like, rages or gets really angry feel super forced.
Yeah. Especially in recent episodes. In older episodes, it wasn't so bad. But I feel like he's gotten older. And also, I just feel like I know too much of James Rolfe. Like,
it just seems
he
like he's
such
tired.
a nice guy.
He's like, I don't want to do this.
He's like, I've got 2 kids.
A wife.
Like,
yeah, I have a family.
And you can tell he wants to like get out and make like some atmospheric horror movies or shit like that. Like that's the kind of shit he's into. But he probably feels financially tied to the character at this point.
Yeah.
This is all assumption.
But no, it's in general. It's the same thing as like typecasting in movies. It's the same thing for like internet personalities. Like it's super, super hard for people to branch out to do other things if they're known for like. It's the same thing. I understand why Doug Walker continues to do the Nostalgia Critic because I was looking on his YouTube videos, like Nostalgia Critic videos still get like 300, 400,000 views. Everything else, 50K. It's just like you need this as your livelihood. I get it. Also, he's not his own boss. Like, so.
Yeah. Well, that's. I think that's part of the reason why he tried to walk away. Like, this movie was like the wrap on Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah.
For
a year? 8 months? What was it?
Something like that. He branched off and did this other series called Demo Reel. And then he...
Even when I was a kid, I only watched Nostalgia Critic as well. So I get it. Like... And I only watched AVGN and Bored James. I was bored as hell watching like regular James Rolfe stuff. I don't know why. I think they're really fun
I branched out and watched close to pretty much like the history of what they did.
I would watch like his monster reviews on in October.
Oh, I think I've literally watched not newer videos, but at a certain point I had watched every video on Cinemassacre's website, including videos that are no longer up.
That's another interesting point. Speaking of Cinemassacre.com, I think there was a really interesting moment of history where YouTube was already like a giant at this time, but that guy with the glasses and Cinemassacre.com were like still websites. Like they were still like pushing out content. That's where you watch their content. They were directly like not competing with YouTube, but even being able to like have a space that wasn't in YouTube was pretty impressive. I think Rooster Teeth did it. I think Rooster Teeth still does it. But Cinemassacre, is their website still up? Like, do they still put stuff on there? Do they still put up their videos?
They do, but they're like Blip TV is no longer a thing.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they use
Blip
YouTube.
TV. But yeah, they use YouTube now. I think that guy with the glasses had a native video player. Like, they directly put it on there.
They eventually made the switch to Blip because
that's right. And then, but at least the beginning, I think that might be wrong. And then, but they're mostly just on YouTube now. Like, it was an interesting time where YouTube didn't necessarily own a monopoly on every video.
Yeah, well, here we are.
Here we are. They're putting ads on literally fucking everything. I watched like 20 ads while watching the To Boldly Flee.
I have premium.
I did, and now I don't right now. And I was on my TV. So I'm like, well, I can't use ad block.
Yeah. I feel that.
But mostly, like, this movie's really bad, but there's a lot of really fascinating stuff around the culture. It's a nice example. Maybe not a nice example, but it's a perfect example of how toxic, like, male nerd culture is.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't even get into Spoonie.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to talk about Spoonie. I watched Spoonie the most when I was a kid. So,
really?
I watched Spoonie a lot.
With Spoonie, I'm more of an outsider looking, and I saw him like on like Linkara.
I'm pretty sure
like Nostalgia
that's
Critic.
how I got into Nostalgia Critic. I watched Spoonie first. So.
Oh, okay.
Spoonie, I don't know what he's doing now, but he needs to go to therapy.
I know he like ran a red light and like fucking killed 2 people in a car accident. He's like living at home with his parents now or something like that.
He needs. I hate to say, it, but like he needs to go into, an institution.
The man needs help.
Yeah. So I also don't know enough about Spoonie right now. I used to, that I don't feel comfortable talking too much about it because I didn't read up on it, but.
I feel it. I watched a video right before, but
and I get
nothing in there that really is necessary to bring up.
So this,
but he was a big part of this movie.
Yeah, he was the main villain for a decent chunk, like the first hour of the 3-hour movie.
It's like
he was
2 of like the 5 villains in this movie.
Dr. Insano. I think. Do you want to say anything more about this movie?
I commend it for being ambitious, for being...
Sometimes ambition's a bad thing.
Yeah.
You need to have a healthy amount of ambition.
I think maybe not necessarily with this film, but what this film is a branch of like basically just a bunch of like reviewers getting together and like basically like trying to mesh and create like this big thing for fans. I think that's kind of cool. I like it in concept.
Still make it 3.5 hours.
Yeah, don't make it 3.5 hours, guys. Come on. What were you thinking?
I think you're going to give this movie a 7 out of 10, though. Just kidding. I think you're going to give it a 1. Were you saying something else? Did I interrupt you?
No, I don't have anything else to say about it.
So you gave it a 1?
I did give it a 1. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think I'm giving it?
2 or 3?
I gave it a 1. How can I give this movie?
Oh, fuck. I thought maybe you would have seen some silver lining.
No, I laughed once at the McMuffin joke, but
oh, I see.
And I think the Emperor voice was okay, and there were 3 people that seemed like their acting was slightly above terrible. All right. Oh God, I just ripped my earphones out of my ear. I'm in pain. All right, so that's it. We finished it. The year is over, so let's just take a moment. Thomas, are there any movies this year that you've watched for Screen Weens, or series or anything that have left like a lasting impact on you? They don't have to be like your favorites, but is there anything that like you're thinking about a lot?
Yeah, recently with the Sanjuro movies, the Yojimbo and Sanjuro. I particularly like Yojimbo. That's the one I think of more often. Those are pretty good. Let me pull up the feed of episodes that we've had within the last year, just so I have like a visual reminder.
We watched. I don't think it really counts. Like, there's a couple that have been rewatches for me, like Evil Dead 2 and Moonlight. But those are great movies. Those have stuck with me, but they were sticking with me beforehand.
Yeah.
Elephant Man for me, though, has definitely fucking stuck with me.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That was a rewatch for
I've
you.
seen. Yeah. But I get that. That's a good one. Let me see.
Harakiri blew me the fuck away. I've been thinking about that a lot.
Harakiri's another good one we watched. I liked, I don't think about it super often, but I liked Giant Robo. I've been thinking about that, like, a lot. Just mostly, like, how fucking good the visuals were in it. I really like how that looks. I didn't realize Ginrei got her own series, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh.
I don't know if it took place before or after.
There Will Be Blood is a movie that we rewatched.
Yeah. The Paul Thomas Anderson episode was this year?
Yeah, that was in May.
Really?
Yeah, it was in May. It wasn't even at like the beginning of the year. It was halfway through the year.
That dude, I'm not gonna lie, that feels like last century to me. Holy hell.
But the one we did after I think it was the...
Dude, we did Blackjack and Killer Joe this year. What the
When was that? What?
We did Agnes Varda this year?
Yeah, that was...
Oh, shit.
Yeah. We haven't done the podcast for
year.
that long. Remember that, like, we did like 25 episodes last year, but most of the episodes had been this year.
Man.
Malcolm X was this year. That is like the best biopic I've ever seen.
A lot of those Spike Lee movies were good. I liked obviously
Lee Chang-dong was this year.
All five Lee Chang-dong movies. I think about those all the time.
I think we talked about this a couple episodes back, but Greenfish is the one that, like, I wasn't expecting it to, but has been living in my mind. Especially, like, the phone call scene. Like, I want to rewatch that one more than anything, even though it was, like, my least favorite of the five.
Yeah, Greenfish, that one, I really fuck with that movie. I don't know what it is about it. I need to rewatch that one, too. I think I have it downloaded on my laptop.
We watched Mulholland Drive
needs
this
to do
year.
a release of that. Oh, yeah. Well,
the very beginning of this year, though.
Like 20 times, probably.
This was the first time I watched Mulholland Drive. It jumped into my top 50 pretty high up. I watched it 3 times in a row when we watched it. I liked it that much.
This year we watched Who's Driving Doug? That's a movie that sticks with you. Yeah. True Stories, that's another pretty good one.
True Stories. This was the first time I had watched Tokyo Godfathers. That was great. And then the Sandro Yojimbo episode, those I enjoyed, but Hidden Fortress blew me away. I really liked that one.
Yeah. Hidden Fortress was also really good. Fucking... I had seen this one previously, but The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one. Just like in general, we've watched so many great movies this year. Like, this year's been terrible. Like, it's been a bad year. But at least there's some solace for me. And, like, we've watched a lot of really great movies. Like, Wendy and Lucy, like the Kelly Reichardt episode we did 2 months ago. We watched the whole Evil Dead trilogy. It was the first time I had seen Army of Darkness. Gunbuster. Was that this year?
But let's...
Yeah, that was in May.
Yeah. But let's not forget some of the shit we watched this year as
well. I'm not forgetting. Like, To Boldly Flee.
To Boldly Flee. Oh my god, that movie was the worst. Let me see. What else? We did Uwe Boll this year.
We did Uwe Boll this year. We didn't watch, like, a lot of the shit we watched, like, early on in Screen Weens, so, like, last year. But, like, we did watch Trooper this year, / Blood Shack. You made me watch Dumb and Dumber 3. Sorry, 1.5, my bad. When Harry Met Lloyd, that was... You made me watch Nightmare on Elm Street 6. 6. No, 5. 5.
To be fair, I made you watch multiple Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
But then I made you watch Hostel 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had to watch Hostel.
We
had to watch...
We got the first bag. We had to watch Epic Movie.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the bag. Fuck.
All right. Would you rather watch the entirety of To Boldly Flee again or Epic Movie?
Epic Movie.
Would you?
I mean,
like, I know it's shorter, but it made me... Oh, what about Epic Movie and Disaster?
No, I'd watch To Boldly Flee again. Disaster movies. Like, legitimately, when I think of, like, the worst movie, I just get flashes of Disaster movie in my mind.
We watched Maniac Cop 3. That was rough.
That is rough. It had that one really good scene in it, though.
Yep. Yeah. And then there were just a couple movies like that I really liked watching that weren't necessarily good. I'm really glad we watched fucking Psycho and its remake because, like, the remake was really bad, but I got something out of it. I felt like I understand.
Yeah. I don't know if we mentioned this during the really good ones, but I just saw this Cure.
Was that really this year?
It was 8 months ago, yeah.
What the fuck?
We did it in the same episode as the fucking Randy Quaid double feature with Parents and Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's why we started just having one person to be more thematic. Yeah. I'm glad we did that. We did a whole kind of rehaul of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's much better now.
Yeah, if you've listened to earlier episodes, you used to hear that I drew the thumbnails. Yeah. And 50 still got one of the drawn thumbnails, but...
Yeah, I missed those thumbnails, but...
Yeah, they were just, I'm such a procrastinator, and I'd always be drawing them last minute. I'm like, fuck, and they'd look like shit, and I'd feel bad. So... I like what we got going on. I feel like people are more likely to click on something not hand-drawn.
We watched Bicycle Thieves this year.
Related anyway. Yeah, we watched a lot of stuff this year. Like, we did the Gundam. We did, like, Kings of New York and Moon.
Moon was great. We did Demons 1 and 2, which was a nice little thing. For one of our first episodes, we did The Church, so... I think that was like episode 13 or something. I cannot believe we watched Killer Joe and Blackjack this year.
Yeah, no, that feels like so long ago. Hannah was on that episode, wasn't she? Yeah.
Hi, Hannah. You're probably not listening to this.
Probably not, but... Hello, regardless.
I'll tell her she has to listen to this one because I say hi, Hannah, like 1.5 hours in.
Let's see.
Oh, we watched all of Steve McQueen's movies this year.
We did.
Oh.
Oh, wait, I remember. Yeah.
But in general, it's been a fun year. I'm glad we started this podcast. Like, despite us not, we're 101 subscribers, but this is just a really fun thing for us to do. For me, at least, I really like talking about this with you. It's a fun little meetup, and we get to watch some great movies and some bad movies, but like every episode's memorable for my big sweet ass.
I feel it. There's always stuff to be remembered.
But
it's the end of the year. This is what, year 2?
Year 2.
Year 2.
Yeah. Technically, we started the channel in 2018, but we uploaded one video, I think.
Yeah, the Infinity War video. Yeah. And then was the next thing we uploaded the podcast?
I think so. Hold on, let me...
Yeah, I think it was.
We were like, what should we do next? Oh. We were like, fucking around. Oh, whoa! I just sent 101 subscribers. We just got another one. 102, baby!
Nice. Already climbing the chain.
Yeah, we did. So, Avengers Infinity War review came out. My YouTube app's going a little slowly.
It wasn't. We filmed it the day before the movie came out because we saw it a little early. Yeah. We weren't supposed to.
But I was supposed to. Like, Thomas, sneak in. July 14th, 2018 is when that episode came out. And the next...
Yeah, that was when I would...
Go ahead.
God, that was when I would, like, sleep in my car, and I just remember waking up to you, like, entering the theater, and you were like, I'm gonna watch Infinity War. And I was just like...
Why were you asleep in your car?
I was skipping class. Yeah.
So we waited 366 days to upload another video. July 15th is when Screen Weens 1 came out.
Just over a year.
That was when it was called the Weencast.
Yeah.
For the first 2 episodes.
We had that, and we were the 2 Weens in a screen.
Yeah. And then somebody contacted me, hey, I have a podcast called Weencast about the band Ween. And I'm like, that's fair. I didn't need to change it, but I did. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Screen Weens is a better name regardless.
Yeah. Better branding. And then fucking, what's it called? Did we ever upload that Chappaquiddick review we filmed?
No, you didn't have the audio didn't work or something for it.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, because we filmed the 2.
Yeah. That
Infinity
was a weird double feature. We're going to film this Avengers Infinity War review.
Chappaquiddick was pretty good, though.
We should do a review of it now. Like, we should go watch it, and then let's film a review. Hey, guys, we're here to talk.
We should just pick, like, biopics following each one of the Kennedy brothers. And just, like... do an episode on the Kennedy family.
There you go.
Be like, this family was fucked. Haha.
But, yeah, so it's been a good year. And next year, it'll be great. We're going to start doing more content. I'm going to get better at making videos. Because my videos are legendary. I just need to make more. Thomas will release his last couple videos of 31 Days of Halloween. Maybe.
All right, let me make a statement on that in my video making ventures from this point forward.
Mm-hmm.
I have decided I don't like making weekly content. It is not my flow. So I'm going to start spending time on some more long form videos. And I'm just going to make them. I'm not going to announce them. I'll work on them secretly in the background, and I'll drop them when they're done as to not raise expectations.
All right. So Thomas
and
is
as for the werewolf
lifting
reviews,
the rock of...
Get fucked. I don't know.
What did you say? You're not going to finish them?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
So Thomas is lifting the rock of like making content, and he's putting it onto me. So now I have to do everything yet again. No, I'm just fucking around. So I'm going to try to make weekly content instead. And then, of course, Pierre his computer's broken right now. So he's going to start editing on the Switch. Can't do that. Maybe you can. I don't know. He's going to start putting Fortnite content up. But all right, good to know. And then Screen Weens will continue next week with a return of Steve McQueen. His Small Axe series just finished up, 5 films, anthology series. They're all like an hour and a half or less, I think. So yeah, we'll watch those. They are called, let me check. I know one's called Education. I think that's the last one that came out. So I believe the first one was Mangrove. Second one was Lover's Rock. Third one was Red, White, and Blue, which has John Boyega in it. Fourth one was Alex Wheatle. And fifth one was Education. Let's see. Mangrove is 2 hours. Lover's Rock is an hour and 10 minutes. Red, White, and Blue is an hour and 20 minutes. Alex Wheatle is an hour and 6 minutes. And Education is an hour and 3 minutes. So outside of the first one, everything is sub hour and a half. So although it's like another director deep dive, it'll be a pretty easy watch. And let's ease into. Hopefully we'll get a bag episode right after. But yeah. Anyway, thank you all for taking this journey with us. If you're listening in, if you're watching us, I appreciate you. Tell your grandma and all that.
Tell your mailman.
Tell your mailman. That's our new thing. Tell your mailman. All right.
It's not the first time we've said it.
Tell your gynecologist.
I'm pretty sure that was our secondary. Yeah. Tell your teacher.
Tell your OBGYN. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Adios.